This is the Financial Survival Network. Now more than ever. The Financial Survival Network.
Hello, David Morgan from themorganreport.com. Financial Survival Network. I'm standing in for Kerry Lutz, and it's an honor and pleasure to do so. Kerry and I go back quite some time, and he's been doing a great job on the Financial Survival Network. So today I thought I'd do a little bit of technical work for the audience. So as you can see, I'm in my personal charts here on Stock Charts, one of the better charting services in my opinion. And you're going to see me looking away from the screen from time to time so I can get my writing implements. So right now what we're looking at is a very long chart from, as you can see, 2008 with the big run up in gold. And now what we have done is we've formed what's called a cup and handle. And that, if you don't know technically, is the most powerful formation you can have in a stock or a commodity. So it's been a long time coming. In fact, the longer it is, the more assured you are of a massive breakout. And as I've been saying for a long time, 90% of the move comes in the last 10% of the time. That's not an exact. It's just the idea that the last leg up, which I think we're going to be seeing this year in 2021, will be quite a move. And that doesn't mean just this year. I think the move ahead, and I say think, will probably be 2 or 3 years in duration, accelerating like Bitcoin is right now. So anyway, here's the cup. Here's the handle. Once you break through this level, which is roughly the 2,000 in US dollar terms, and you break it substantially, it usually tests it. Sometimes it fails. But once it's tested it, gone up, and has not failed, then usually you're on your way for that, as I say, what I think is the final leg of this massive bull market. So I want to make everyone aware of that. And then I want to go ahead and spend some time with the silver market and then call it hopefully short and succinct video update for everybody for the Financial Survival Network. Well, I said I'd get on to silver, and I will get there. But before I do that, as I'm going through my saved charts, and I have gobs of them, I wanted to point this out on the platinum palladium ratio. For paid members, I just did an update for our paid membership and talking about the platinum market versus the palladium market. As you can see, palladium has been the place to be since according to this chart, like April of 2017. You certainly wouldn't really want to be in platinum. You want to be in palladium. However, as you can see, this part here, we just crossed over on this ratio, the 200-day and the 50-day moving average. So right now, the market is telling us that it might be worth a swap from palladium into platinum. You can do a spread trade in the futures market. I think about 99.999% of the people have no business whatsoever at all in the futures market. It's a lot easier to use an ETF or an equity base, but ETFs are probably the easiest. All I'm trying to do is point out what I've seen in the market. And since I look at all the precious metals, I wanted to give you this information. All right, we're looking at the silver chart, and this is a long-term chart going back 20 years. Since I did the cup and handle on gold, the cup situation for silver would be something like that. So you really were not there yet. Let's say we get there. You wouldn't really be at the pivot point until you're around this 44 level, or you can make a case for 50 for the complete cup and handle. However, that's almost 10 years. And the gold one, I think, was about 5 or 6. Look back at the video. Criticize me, but I put it in your plain view. So there's that. But let's look a little deeper at the silver chart in a more timely fashion. So this is looking at the last 5 years. I'm not going to draw on this chart, but you can see that anyone that follows this market knows silver's been pretty well flat. This is only 5 years. It's been a little longer than that. You see that the high here going back 5 years, not counting 2020, which I'll get to in a moment, but up until 2020, 21, 23 is the high basics this last 5 years. And then, of course, this last year, 2020, we got this March low around the 12 level. And then we shot up to about 30, as you can see. And then we've been consolidating. And right now, as I'm doing this video in very early 2021, you can see we're pushing toward the 27 level. You will also see there's some congestion here at the 27 level, which is upside resistance, and it will probably stall out there for a while. Also, basis commitment of traders, it's not all that favorable for it going higher, but it could. So I'm not going to go much deeper. This is the kind of information you get from the paid version of the Morgan Report when I do videos for the membership. You can see, again, you can find a cup and handle kind of where you want, and I don't like to just make them up. But it is a powerful formation. So you could make the case that that was a cup. Here's the handle. So at that pivot point right there is where, if you were trading or even investing, you would go long. That's at 20. Then you'd follow it up with a stop, especially if you're trading. So you would have captured that move, which is, as you can see from the line, pretty parabolic. Since then, as you can see, we've consolidated. This was earlier last year for a few months, between roughly 26 and we'll call it 28. Right now, we're challenging that level. As I said a moment ago, volume is the key, always. You've got to look at the volume or you don't know what you're looking at. I don't look at a lot of other indicators. I've been at this decades, and I've learned to take away a lot of the noise that a lot of people pay attention to. Regardless, if you look at this here, you can see what moved it sideways was a lot of volume back here. So that momentum from this time frame carried it forward for a while. You see the volume here is still pretty good. And you can see the volume has been rather modest, we'll call it, the last few months of the year. So where are we going? The answer is higher. Are we going higher immediately? It remains to be determined. Usually the first quarter of every year, especially in the old days, was a seasonality that was very favorable to the precious metals. So I think I'll leave it there. I, again, appreciate Kerry asking me to fill in for the Financial Survival Network. Kerry, come back soon. We wish you the best. Wish everybody viewing this Happy New Year. This is David Morgan from themorganreport.com. And if you are not on board yet, I will just do a bit of advertorial here and ask you to sign up for our free service and point out a couple features on our website. So I think most of the viewers of the Financial Survival Network are familiar with my website, The Morgan Report. Right here is our free letter. We have a paid service as well. All you need is a first name and an address. Click this, you'll get an email. You have to verify it's you. If you don't want to do that, okay, but you should come over here to the blog. And we put up a lot of interviews that I do every week. Almost every week I do 2 or 3. Right here for your edification and entertainment. For those that don't know, this top bar here is really a nav bar for our social media. So right there is our YouTube presence. And you can see everything we post on YouTube. If we come back and go to the blog again, our Twitter feed is here, and that's at SilverGuru22. That's our Twitter handle, and that's a good. I do most of that. There's only a couple of people who have access to my account. For those that are inclined, LinkedIn, I post things on LinkedIn that are usually more business oriented, maybe something more in my industry. Although a lot of the content that I post on Twitter is also posted on our LinkedIn page. And then there is a bit of a Facebook, which I know very little about, but it is there. I don't friend. It's basically a corporate account only that one of my staff handles. I hardly ever look at it. And that's it. So there's that, but this is a great place. And then to do a little bit of sales here, which you can turn off the video now, would be into the subscription service. On the subscriber page, there is a video that explains it, but basically, we do the analysis. We have a model portfolio. We do it differently than most with the top tier, mid tier. You get to look over my shoulder, which is what I just did on this video a little bit on what I see in the market, as I just outlined briefly. You get an alert and update. We did add a text service to it if you wish to give us your phone number as a paid member. Not required. Some people like to keep their anonymity. Research, we pride ourselves that we're probably one of the better ones. And then unique opportunities from time to time. And lastly, you get to ask us a couple questions per month as a limit. And there's a lot of bonus material that you'll get as a member. There's really two levels of membership. There's the premium membership, which is roughly $500 a year, and the mastermind, which is basically fund managers, family offices, or AIs, accredited investors. Insiders membership, that's closed down. I cannot work one-on-one with any more people than I have now, so just discount that one to zero. It's not going to happen. So that's it. I appreciate you and your time and wish everyone a great 2021 in these very, very trying and interesting times.
This is the Financial Survival Network. Now more than ever. The Financial Survival Network.